You're listening to the Absolutely Cosmic podcast, self-improvement from the nerdy perspective, powered by Cosmic Absolute, gymwear for the gym nerd.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Absolutely Cosmic podcast, where we talk about anything self-improvement from the nerdy perspective. I'm your host, Joshua Salgado, and today I'd like to welcome on a very special guest, Mathew Lesko, or also known as the question mark guy, with over 40 years of experience in educating and helping people with financial resources and grants within the government, as well as an author of over 100 books. He's going to bring a fresh perspective on his organization and mission to the episode today. Hey, Mathew, thank you for coming on the podcast.
My pleasure. This is how I make money, too. It's all greed. I mean, giving to me is probably the most selfish thing you could do in the world. You know, because I think what people don't realize that giving feels so good. And people beat it out of us. People are like, well, you're giving it away. No, man, that's good. You want to love hard. You want to give hard. You know, that's what you want to do. And it seems that we're maybe it's capitalism or something. It makes it's the opposite. People don't want to give. They want to relax. That's because they're doing shit they don't like.
Yeah, that's the truth. That's the truth.
If you do something you like, you don't quit, man. You do it harder.
Yeah, that's
better.
the truth. You'll work 22 hours a day if you're passionate about it. 100%.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's right. To me, the object in life is finding what you could do for free and get paid for it.
Okay. That's the truth, though. We often, especially, I'm in college right now, and a lot of the kids are 18, just fresh out of high school. I'm 25. Right. So, I been through a deployment, kind of seen the world a little bit with the military perspective. So it's kind of changed my perspective. And they all my friends in there kind of have this very narrow-minded. They're like, I need to get this job in some sort of corporate office or something to be able to make money, to be able to, have that house. And it's not anything of what they're passionate about. It's not anything that, that fires them up, that gets them like, hey, I can do this, make money, contribute to society, and actually provide a quality product, service, whatever it is,
No, I mean, personally, I think retirement is stupid. that means you have the wrong job.
Yeah.
Why? We have this feeling, at least when I grew up, I mean, I'm 81 now, and but if you should work for X number of years and then retire and go play golf. I was like, now, why do you want to go and do something that you're shitty at? If you were a good golfer, you'd be making money playing golf, and helping people, whatever. So you want to retire and do something you don't do very well. Yeah. If you find something you could do well and get paid for it and survive, and then that, to me, that eliminates a lot of things. Primarily, it's like retirement. Like, I'm 81. I'm not going to retire. I mean, that's stupid. We're here to give, and you can only keep growing as long as you keep giving. Once you stop giving, man, then you're sitting there watching the TV and throwing vegetables at the fucking news. Or whatever.
That's true. I heard this saying that an author, you will know how well an author will sell their book or their series by how many books they give away.
Right. No, I would give everything away, but my mortgage guy wouldn't appreciate that. But what we do, the service I have now, helps people find government grants.
Okay.
And it was something, I sold millions of books and stuff like that. And I was like, and they're reference books. So they quit buying reference books about 10, 15 years ago, because of the internet.
Yeah.
But how do people, how can I get this information to them? Because I really think it's important. And they're not going to buy books. So I was thinking, well, I was start this it's a community we have, where we help each other get government grants. And I said, well, that'd be nice. I'll just start something like that so I could keep doing what I want to do and get paid for it. So I keep my mortgage on time. But it's become so profitable that we give away 40% of all our sales back to members.
Wow.
So, and I mean, we're a small company, a couple $1 million or something. And I was reading how Facebook just announced they're giving out $100 million to small businesses and grants I said, $100 million. Man, what is that? And they make a big to-do out of it. Now, how they're so giving back to society and all this kind of stuff. Man, they make $150 billion. So they're giving back that the $150 million is 0.0007% of their sales.
Wow.
And as I was like, oh, we give 40%. Yeah, 0.0007. Yeah. And I'm very proud of that part because I never thought I could be able to do that.
Yeah.
I thought you had to be, Jeff Bezos or somebody like that, to do that. So a little schmuck like me, or a small business, could really give it away. And that's the best thing. And that, but I see in our service that people helping people, I thought, well, I can't really grow this because it relies on me too much. And, but now I see that, boy, when somebody joins us, it's only $20. It's not like I'm charging thousands or whatever. I used to do that to rich people. They'll pay anything. But I stopped doing that because I was helping millionaires become billionaires. All these millionaires would hire me, and I charge them thousands of dollars to find them programs that they can make billions with. And I got sick of helping rich people. They're not fun. All they care about is money and no soul in what they're doing. And so now we have somebody just finds a program where they help to start a business or pay the bills and stuff like that. They're so excited. They want to tell other people about it. Yeah. So you could talk to them every day. We have 3 or 4 hours of members that are available to answer questions from people. Wow. So you could ask them, how do they just get this? Somebody like me, I retower kind of guy. I haven't applied for a grant in a while. And so you've talked to somebody like you that just did this is very exciting to me. Wow. And maybe, this is a way to even grow after me. I never thought of that. I don't care what happens after me. I'll tell you the truth. I won't be here. What do I get? It's while I'm here that's important.
Yes, definitely. So I want to ask you, what got you started on this path? Because being able and being so humble and focused on helping, the average, not necessarily the millionaire, but the average person who can use this to benefit themselves. What got you started on this path?
I've failed at everything else. I mean, that's what's good about failure. I mean, failure is very important because particularly, if you're younger or even older, I had to go through a whole years and years of failure again to find what works. Because we don't know, shit is put in our head from day one about what's important, about what should be important to you, how to make money, how to do this. Everybody's, but we're all different. And what happens, though, I think we take all that advice because all of us are scared as hell and don't know what we're doing. So we want help. So we go to experts and help, and then they're motivated to try to make you believe they know the answer for you. When in fact, they really don't. Nobody does. It's like doctors. They don't, they're guessing, but they can't charge a lot of money if they tell you they're guessing. That's a tough sell. I don't know. I'm not sure this will work, but fuck it. Give me 10 grand and we'll see.
That's an awesome point that you mentioned, because I've been listening to a little bit of Bob Proctor, and he mentioned kind of the same thing. No one knows your top limit. No one does, not even yourself. It's infinite,
Well, it's more than the limit. It's what maybe it is. I mean, that's another way of saying it. But I think we're all organic. We have ways to grow that is especially for us to grow the most. See, to me, I think that happiness is giving as much as you can. So it's not just a little bit. You don't want to love a little bit, and you want to love hard. You don't want to play a little bit. You want to play hard. That's why people say, "Oh no, but I want to win." What? Oh, go play basketball with a 5-year-old. And you'll win all the time. Like, no, that's no joy in life. That's not growing. And in order to keep growing in life, you have to test yourself constantly. And you have to fail. That's the only way you test yourself. When you learn to walk, I remember my kids, when they learned to walk, they crawl over to the coffee table and stand up and hold on the table, and they take a step and fall on their ass. So if I told them, don't do that, you're going to fail, they'll never want. But that we do that for grown-ups. You'll have this idea, I want to do something. And you'll ask your parents or loved ones or whatever. Oh, no, you're going to fail. But you're right. That's right. You probably will. But that's the only way you're going to learn what the hell to do if you don't fail. Yeah. And they can't tell you what to do because they're not you. We're all so unique. And yet it's almost like trying to figure out and it's hard because nobody tells you what's good for you. They tell you what's selling. That's interesting to know because you have to, fit into society and figure out a way to make money at what you want to do. And so you have to figure out ways. Like I've been selling the same thing for 50 years, but in different formats that change with society. And that comes, you have to learn all over again, which thank God. And the problem I've seen is that success is a handicap. So old people like me are worse to deal with than young people like you. Because you, at your age, you're just looking forward. Hey, where the hell are the holes? What can I do? You're just looking forward. Yeah. People who had some success, they're looking backwards. They had this shit that worked 10 years ago and trying to make it work again. And it ain't gonna. And they have to really get beat up to get that out of their system to grow. And it's sort of like a plant. You got to put a plant in the right pot where the plant won't grow. You'll be stifled. You'll be whatever. That's what most jobs are because they make you this. You're not working for your growth, for somebody else's growth. So they just need you as a widget to do something for them. Yeah. That's fine. You have to pay your bills first and be self-sufficient. But then to grow, which we all as a natural part of the universe, are here to grow. I mean, I'm so surprised at 81 I get to grow. I'm so, God. And I think it's because of my work. If I didn't have this, I'd be bitching at everybody, complaining about politics.
So Matthew, how do you stay so driven? I mean, you mentioned you're 81. Yeah. You've done this for so many years, and then,
Well, I don't know. It seems natural to me. I mean, we're all here. Why are we here? Why are you here? Why the fuck am I here? I know I'm not a plant that someone could eat, but in a way we are, to feed other people in some way and to give. I really feel it's a giving. Where can I give the most? And then how do you give what you're the best at giving? That's what I mean. So, you want golf. What are you going to get? You're a shitty golfer. No one's going to pay money to watch you play golf. But I have this expertise on that. And I'm surprised that people still need it. Maybe they don't, and I'd have to learn something else that was natural to me. And that's why even like wearing this kind of suits and stuff like it took me a long time to get this, only about 20 years ago. I was dressing, I'm a clothes horse, as maybe you could tell. And I wear very expensive clothes and things like that, but that wasn't me. I had this inside me, and what I call it's living inside out, that this is me inside. So if you see this and like it, I'll like you. Because if you think I'm an asshole, then we're saving each other a lot of time. We don't have to talk to each other because I'm not going to like you if you think it's an asshole. So it's been a filter, which is great. And the people who like it just treat me so nicely. Yeah. And that's just, I've never been treated so nice in my life. That's what keeps you. People, you feel wanted. That's all. That's the only reason we're here. We want to feel wanted. We want to be able to contribute. Then we want to be of value to something, someone, where, whatever, personally or professionally. Yeah. So when I see personal and professional, the same thing. Yeah. Your personal love life and your professional love life. And it's hard to do both because we're trying to look for a checklist. Do A, B, and C, and you'll be the greatest lover in the world, and do this, and this, and you'll be a millionaire. Now, I don't think life works that way because we're all so different. You have to feel it works for you, and we're here, we're either business or professional, to help other people. So you have to learn to love other people, not you, and just give people what they say they want, because people don't know what they really want.
Yeah.
We don't have enough language to be able to do that. So you have to be more on a heart-to-heart level to understand what somebody's saying. And that's hard to get, because you have to be vulnerable yourself. Especially as a younger person, you're not vulnerable, because you got to be strong, this, that, especially a guy in this country. I don't know.
Yeah.
I grew up in the 50s and 60s, so that's a different generation than you are. And it wasn't really until recently that I'm able to say the word love a lot. I mean, growing up as a guy in this society, I mean, I thought you only said love if you got married. I thought I had to marry you, so I said love. And now, loving is a wonderful word, because every time I say it, my heart opens more.
Yep.
You know, and it's your heart. The heart is the bait. And I feel your heart is smarter than your brain, because if it comes from the heart, you're going to work at it better than if you come from the brain. And that's why we all want to use our brain, and that's true, because you want to, so you don't go off a cliff. But it's more important to do things from your heart, because everything you do in life is going to be a fucking pain in the ass. Yeah. It's hard. Yeah. Life is hard. It's going to beat you up no matter who you are. And you're not going to get through it or succeed at it unless your heart's in it. You know, you're doing it for some other reason. There'll be roadblocks. There'll be bumps in the road. There'll be all this stuff, and you say, "Oh, fuck this! I'm going to be a real estate broker or something." You know, instead, and so you're not going to stay there to find out what it really takes. And you only do that if your heart's in it. I used to wear only question marks. I had question mark suits and everything. Now I wear hearts, because I wear question marks was really how to get I think if you ask the right question, then you could get the right answer. Most of us just don't really know the right question to ask. Yeah. They're like, how to make $1 million? So, that's not the right question.
Yeah.
And then, but if you get the right answer, to implement it, you need the heart. Heart is more than anything, is behind it all. If you don't have that, you're going to stop the first little bump on the road and try something else, which your heart won't be in. You'll just keep doing that.
100%. I think, you said a lot of very wise stuff. I think it's very challenging when you're in a space where you're like, oh, I have to live up to a certain ideology, right? Or a way of living, rather than just being authentically yourself. That was one thing I struggled with innately after coming back from my first deployment. I came back and I thought, oh, I'm macho, blah, blah, blah. And I wasn't cocky, I wasn't arrogant, but I just, and I realized that just because you do a certain thing, or you have a certain experience, or you live a certain pathway in life, doesn't mean that you have to outwardly, you could just be yourself. So if that means like, I'm a huge nerd, and
well, that's hard to be yourself. There's no encouragement to be yourself.
Yep.
All the experts that say they know the secrets of life will never tell you that. They'll tell you what somebody else succeeded at. And then you have to be somebody else in order to succeed. That's wrong. It's digging into yourself and having people around you. That's why I define the word love, and loving somebody else is helping them do whatever they want to do. Because we're all guessing. We don't know what to do with our own lives. What gives us the audacity to think we could tell somebody else to do with their lives? Yeah. So that's why I think your responsibility as a lover, or somebody you love, that is ask them what they want to do and just help them do whatever the fuck it is. Because they'll run into enough problems. You don't have to give them another problem of convincing you or something like that. And we don't have that because we don't get paid well for that. And that's the insecurity of all the other people, that we're all insecure and we want the magic answer for somebody. And we'll pay whatever we have to get that. And really the answer is in ourselves, in trial and error. I tell you, there's no shortcut to that.
I think what I've found starting this podcast and starting my small business, Cosmic Absolute, is that I've grown. It's been a little bit over a year and a half. I've grown more as a person, as a professional, as designing the T-shirts that we use for the merch. Every little aspect that we do with this, by failing forward, and
definitely.
by like just being truthful and authentically who I am on the podcast, having authentic and wise guests on as well, you know?
No, it's hard to do, like I said, because there's, you know, you go to schools, you go to seminars and all this kind of stuff. And the person up in front, oh, he's smart and wise. I guess I have to be like that. No, you have to be like yourself. And how do you do that? Because no one's trained to be you, because you're the only one who's you. So you're in charge of training.
Yes. That's very
so
true.
You're in the Air Force?
I am. I'm in the Air Force. I'm a C-130 loadmaster, so I load and unload planes, fly with the plane.
I flew in one of those getting out of Vietnam.
You were in Vietnam, sir?
Yeah.
Well, thank you for your service.
Nobody said that at the time. And that's how you guys have it better. Because I thought, well, I come back and I'll be this officer. You know, I'd come home with a chick on each elbow, and everybody called me an asshole for going. I got over it quickly, but also what was interesting about the military, man, I never had more responsibility for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
I mean, what they do for young people, the responsibility you get is incredible.
Yeah.
You know, out in the normal world, you know, you're getting coffee for somebody or something. You know, I was at 22 or 23, something. I was driving around $1 billion ship out in the South China Sea.
Wow.
Then I was a diplomatic courier out in Europe with a gun on commercial airlines.
Wow.
So I never. It's amazing what government programs do for people. It did for me.
I think for me at least, it gave me a large part of my structure and a large part of that structured thinking that now when I implement creativity, it gives me like a base, if that makes sense. So now I can have the creativity, which you kind of let it out, let it loose, let it figure itself out. But then you can restructure it and simplify it. And
no, it's I guess our life is a big mold of putty or something that you know, we can make anything we want out of it. And not, you know, it's just opening up your eyes and heart and mind to more of the world. And instead of we all grew up in little towns, it sounds like a lot of northeastern Pennsylvania's like the industrial north, like, you know, in Connecticut, whatever. And they're small, at least they were back in the 50s and 60s. And that's what the military does to me, is you're thrown in with a bunch of people from all over the country. And that's an experience in itself that you won't get in Connecticut.
100%. So I have a few more questions for you, Matthew. With being the author of over 100 different books, what are the books that you wrote that stand out the most to you?
Well, what I'm doing now stands out more because I'm able to help people more this way. The books, people bought books, and they sold millions and millions of them, but and I flunked English in college. So when I got my first New York Times bestseller, man, that was like being on Mars. But see, I just I plagiarize the government. Nothing in the government is copyrighted. So I just take it, cut and paste it, and send it to a publisher and print it, and I go out and act like a fool on TV and sold millions of copies. But that didn't work. I mean, it did. People bought the books, obviously, but it didn't. It's like dieting. It's buying a diet book. People buy books like that, How to Get Rich Quick and all this kind of, or diet books, and we keep getting fatter and poorer. So obviously that's not working. But this I see is working because people come to us and tell us what they need money for, and then me or one of the other members will just, okay, these 5 offices in your city give money to do that. And that's it. Then you go. Now we got to train people on how to call the government. People are so afraid to call the government. Just stuff I never thought of. That would be a problem. So that's enough. Instead of sending them a big book, and now we're going to have. So that's what's nice. And then we have, as I said, the people helping people. We have people there every day for a couple hours answering any questions, sort of keep you on track and keep you doing this stuff. which is very, very important. You have to keep at it. There's nothing easy about anything in life. Get a job. You don't knock on one door and they say, well, we're not hiring today. So you don't go home and wait till they change their mind. You have to keep going down. It's a numbers game, like anything. And so we're not used to that. Or actually, to me, what's the biggest problem in our society is Google. At least for people without money. It's great for people who have money because you have a place to solve any problem. If you have money. But what about the people who need help and don't have any money, which represents about half of our society in my mind. And so what happens to them? They go to Google and they'll make a few phone calls and all that hear how much it costs, or they get scammed or whatever. So I got to get them out of Google. Let me show you a place right now. Can you go online while we're talking?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Go on findhelp.org.
Right, I'm there.
Okay. Now, and then put in your zip code up on the left-hand top. See the zip code?
Yep.
Okay, now let's say, this is a collection of all the free sources where you live in Connecticut. There may be a number in the middle of the page, maybe like 3,000 something. You see that at all? How many?
2,317 different programs.
So that's how many people in your area that want to love you and give you money and stuff. Wow. Every one of them is either a nonprofit or a government office. Now let's use that little search again and put in rent, R-E-N-T. Maybe you can pay rent 1 month and put that in there.
Let's see. So there's a few different things like energy assistance program.
No, but up on top, what's the number you get? Does it have a number?
Nothing came up for that one.
For rent, R-E-N-T?
Yep.
See. What's energy? No, did you do the search bar and put in rent?
Yep, I did.
We'll go back again because something's a little funky there.
See, there's an option for housing.
Is that a tab, you mean?
Yep. Yes, sir.
Okay, there are tabs like there, but what I want to do, instead of doing those tabs, because then you get a whole bunch of things with housing, is to put in rent, and you should get that, sort of the same place you put the zip code in. Do you see that? Is that where you put rent?
Try it again. See. So I scrolled down a little bit and it says there's 7 different programs
for rent.
Yep.
Well, click housing, see what you have there. So that's 7 programs, and there should be 50 or more, but I could be wrong. I don't know. Yep. Go in housing and see. But there's 7 people there that give out rent money. Yeah.
Okay.
So if you go to Google, you'll never find those 7.
Yep.
And you'll find somebody wants to sell you something, promise you something. But click on that housing thing. Because maybe you want to buy a house, and you'll see.
Yep. And it says help find housing, help pay for housing, housing advice, maintenance and repairs, residential housing, and temporary shelter.
So all those, click on maybe rent and repairs and see how many you get in there.
So there's efficiency upgrades. There's 6 of those. And then health and safety, there's 12 different programs.
Oh, see, there's 6 and 12. Yep. So that's almost 20. So there's 20 sources again for money to help fix up a house.
Yeah.
Now you want to grow your business. Okay, let's go back in the URL and put SBA, like Small Business Administration, SBA.gov, and then / local, LOCAL, then dash assistance. So SBA.gov / local dash assistance. And hit it in there, see what you get.
Yep. It says get local assistance. This is the Small Business Administration.
Right. Get local assistance, a place to put in your zip code. You see that?
Yep.
Okay, put in your zip code. See, when you put in your zip code, you'll get some organizations there, and they're not the SBA. This is just a database run by the SBA that shows you local nonprofit organizations that are there to help you find the money and help you need to start or grow any business, any invention, any nonprofit, any real estate investment, any freelancing, anything to make money yourself.
Wow.
Did you put in your zip code? How many did you get?
Yep, and it's showing 17 different resource partners.
Right. So these are all free people that will help you. I mean, you call a half a dozen of those for your business and see how they can help you for free. And they won't charge you any money. Otherwise, you'll say something, I need legal help or something. You'll go to Google and spend a shitload of money when you get them free. Or you need more money to grow, or what's the options for money? You talk to them. And the key about this is not to say, I'm calling and I need money, and just say, I'm calling and I need help. So you just want to get help, because we're trying to, what you're doing by saying you need a grant, you're guessing what they have, but they're there to help you get help for anything, because they'll say, no, I don't have any grant, and you'll lose them. And when they can really help you. So it's best to just call them, make an appointment, belly to belly if you can, or on the phone to see how they help you, because it's really a person-to-person game. It's better to be in front of somebody. It's like brown-nosing the teacher. You could be a stupid student, but if you go and show them at least you're human, it's easy for them to kick you over the finish line. Because it's safer. So that's what it is, and that's what I'm trying to teach people. That's what it is. But people will just go to Google, and it's like that for anything. It's all like that. It's the world, but it's only a third of our world, and none of that third advertises, so nobody knows about it.
That's really interesting, because I have a lot of I'm thinking now, like, I'm going to send some of these websites to a few friends who are, working on certain projects or struggling or whatever it may be. That's going to help them.
Absolutely.
We're in trying times.
If I be able to find another person or two that can really improve their life and the people around them, just because they know this. Listen, to me, that's curing cancer. And just a schmuck like me really graduated, able to do this. So that's fun. That's right. Why retire? I mean, that's what you're here to give till it's over. And
there's this quote that I kind of try to live by now, and it's, you do a disservice to the world by not pursuing your dreams and giving back to your community. And I think that's the biggest thing.
Absolutely. But that's perfect. I mean, but see, it's also not only, you're giving the community by your dreams enables you to give the best you have. And you're trying to be something that you're not even good at because you think it makes money. And so you're not using you the best you can, and you're not giving the rest of the world the best of you. The world deserves the best of you, not the mediocre part.
100% truth. So I have a few more questions. I guess with the digital landscape, you said, when you first started, it was a lot of books. It was a lot of written documents. Now you've changed to more of a community base, more of a digital landscape.
Right.
How is that ever evolving? Is there more, is it constantly changing?
I didn't know I was going to do this until 2 years ago. And that's why you take the best shit you got and you go forward and keep your eyes open.
Okay.
Because that may be good, may not be. But don't wait for the perfect thing, because you don't know the perfect thing. We're not smart enough. So you take your mediocre and go forward, and that will tell you what you should have done. But weren't smart enough to do.
100%. So to close it out, I always ask our guests, I guess, what is like the biggest life lesson, or if you were to go tell yourself something when you started your journey, whether it's your personal mission, whether it's just a personal or life philosophy, what would you leave the audience with?
Your heart is smarter than your brain. So you got to trust your heart. That's smarter. We try to be so smart, though.
Yeah.
The brain's an asshole a lot of times. Can't follow that sucker.
Yeah.
But your heart tells the truth. I mean, I think that's impersonal and professional.
Yeah.
Then you could grow your best. You could love your best, the best you have to give.
Yes.
Listen to your heart.
100%. 100%. And if anyone who's listening wants to, find you and start working with you, your organization and your business, how would they be able to do that?
LeskoHelp.com.
Okay. And I'll link it down below in the descriptions on YouTube, on Spotify, as well as on Instagram when I post some shorts and stuff like that to hopefully.
Well, send us a link so we know it's there.
Definitely.
Okay. Because I'll send it out to our folks. Yeah.
Will do.
Okay.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Mathew, for being on the show. I appreciate you taking the time.
My pleasure.
Thank you for your service again. Thank you for, really trying to be on a mission to help people. That's an excellent thing these days,
Well, thank you for your service. That just sounds like a funny thing to me because I never heard of people. And I had nothing else to do. So they get drafted. I couldn't get in grad school or anything. Oh, fuck it, I'll do this. And it was pretty good.
Awesome.
Not a career, but good.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Thank you for coming on the show.
My pleasure. Take care of yourself.
You too.
Thank you for listening. Consider absolutely smashing the subscribe button for more content like this.